Welcome to another edition of Super Supplies Saturday on djsundry.blogspot.com. Today we're going to talk about this new product. I don't know how new the product is, but I just heard about it this week for the first time while watching some craft videos on YouTube, and I decided I wanted to try it if I could find it, and actually one of the Michaels in the city had one. So this is called Goosebumps. It's made by the Sukaniko company, and I don't know if I said that right, but that's what we'll go with. And it's a texture spray. So it comes in this box, and it's just it's kind of a milky looking spray, and you use it to add texture to your projects. So we're going to play with it a little bit. I got it out, I had a scrap square here, and I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up, but it also creates like a resist. So we're going to play with it and see what it will do to this tag. Now I'm working on this tag. This is just a number 8 tag from Ink Essentials, and I've already prepped my tag. And how I prepped it is this is just the manila color tag, and I took the Faded Jeans Distress ink from Tim Holtz, and I inked the background to create my background color, but I didn't ink it completely because I wanted some of that manila color coming through. And then I took a stamp set. Actually took 2. The first one that I used is this Amazing Muse set from K. Andrew Designs, and I used the one that says "You Are" and "Amazing." You mix and match those to create different stamps. So I put "You Are Amazing," and I used the frayed burlap to do that. And then I took this Tim Holtz the Journey set, and it's the one that has the old jalopies and the old truck on it, and it also has a little stopwatch and some other things. It's like a receipt here. And so I took the pickup truck, and I took the distressed ink, the rusty hinge, and I just put the truck on there at an angle, and then I took the pumice stone and just stopped the stopwatch. So the tag, that's as much prep as I want to do to start with now. And now we're going to play with the texture and see what happens. So the closer you are to the project, the less splatter you'll have. So if you're looking for a big hole of texture, then you would want to be really close. Say I wanted the whole stopwatch to be textured. For this, I want just a splatter texture, so I'm going to come up more. Also, I don't want to cover the tag because I want to add some more colors to this, and wherever I put this, it will resist color. So I'm going to just kind of cover it here, and kind of come back, and I'm just going to kind of cover it kind of towards the bottom. Now, because it's sprayed, it's not completely covering it, so I can go ahead and add my texture. Now, when I was playing with it before, I discovered it really does not take long to dry at all. Just clean off the stuff from my craft mat. It takes, I probably didn't wait 10 minutes for it to dry. However, you can also speed up the process if you use your heat gun. And for the purpose of this video, that's what I plan to do, is just use my heat gun to speed it up a bit. Got it all tangled up here. Still just a bit tacky. Alright, that's dry now. Now what I noticed while I was drying it is it splattered a little more than I thought, and I've got some up here, but that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I want to try stamping over probably over the whole top there. And I'm going to use the pumice stone again because it's kind of a lighter colored stamp. Now this may completely ruin the tag, so if it does, we learned. I also am not going to, I don't necessarily want the whole card on the tag. I'm going to actually stamp off to the side a bit. So it will go over my letters a bit, but It kind of, you can just see it there. So this again is using the pumice stone. Now it looks a little bit different than this pumice stone, even though it's the exact same ink, just basically probably because of the resist that's created. So now what I'm going to do is I want to take my Memento bamboo leaves and let's add some more color to the tag. And this is where we should see some of that coming in, some of that texture coming in. I'm just adding a little more color here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have my rag here. I'm just going to go over the top, and everywhere where there is that texture, the goosebumps, there will be little pockets here. And I don't know if you can see it, but it did resist that green ink, and so that just kind of adds another dimension, a layer of color to our tag. So now what I want to do is I want to do it again. So I want to add at least one more color, only this time I'm going to be a little bolder with my texture, and I'm going to just spray it quite a bit all over it. And it's pretty wet here. Let's clean off the mat again. Kind of got a little crazy with that spray. So again, I'm going to use my heat tool and get that dry. So it's still a little bit tacky, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it air dry, and then we'll come back and show the last part of it. So when you're splattering just small amounts, it doesn't get, it doesn't stay tacky near as long, but as thick as that last coat was, it still needs, it's not a lot tacky, but it's tacky enough I don't want to start mixing ink. So I'll be back in just a few minutes and we'll finish up this project. Okay, so it's all dry now, and I've cleaned up my mat and I'm ready to start again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tea dye and apply some more ink. Now I don't know how much of this the camera picks up, but this is very textured and smooth. You know, it kind of reminds me of glossy accents, only in a spatter instead of applied directly on. I mean, it's spattered over the whole thing. So let's take the tea dye and we'll ink up and add some more here. It's just giving it a little bit more depth. And I'm really being very, very generous with the tea dye color because I want to get it in to the areas where they're in between, where there are splatters. The rest of it will come off once I wipe it off because the resist is created there. But so this should just kind of settle in between. As thick as I have this particular application of it, I doubt that there will be much tea dye being shown coming through, but hopefully it'll be enough to kind of color in so that that red, that rusty hinge truck isn't quite so prominent as being the only dark color. So now what I'm going to do is just take my rag here and we'll just wipe it off, and that's exactly where what it did. Anywhere where there was splatter, I just wiped it right off. You can see it right on my rag here, but in between the areas of splatter we've got some red kind of settling in, or the tea dye color settling in. So it gives us multicolor, multi-dimensional layering here. So it is very smooth. I like the application. There are some things I learned about Goosebumps while playing with it that I want to share with you. First of all, right on the bottle and in the box, the manufacturer recommends that every time you use it, when you're finished, that you go ahead and clean the nozzle really well with water before putting it away, so that it doesn't get all clumpy at the nozzle and it won't spray. So that's something that I will do off camera. But the other thing that I learned, the craft mat, it settles into the craft mat better than some of your inks and things do. I went ahead, I've used this craft mat a lot, and this is the first time that I've actually used the alcohol to clean up the craft mat, because this does resist water cleanup. So be sure that you have a good area. I probably in the future will maybe put it on a larger piece of scratch paper, or maybe if you have a box or something that you use for your spray mists, maybe use that with this as well, just to protect your work surface. Kind of important. The more sprays you have, like this one, this last application was a little bit thicker than I had originally planned on it being, and so, you know, the closer you are to it and the more you spray it, the more evenly it will be covered. You can see here right in the middle, those were some of the larger splatters from my first application. So it's pretty much manila coming through there, whereas some of the other places we have all the colors that, you know, the red kind of settled in and tied it all in. So that completes my Super Supply Saturday using the Goosebumps. I think there's a lot of fun things you can use this for. I think it'll be fun for some Christmas applications and some different things that I'll do in the future. So thanks for watching, and if you can find this product, go ahead and try it and see what you can make with it. Have a great day.